You think women are impossible to understand, but the truth is harsher than that. They are not as confusing as you tell yourself. They just expose where you are weak, needy, performative, and blind. You think the game is about saying the right thing, looking the right way, timing the right text, but it goes deeper than that. What breaks most men is not ignorance about women, it is ignorance about themselves. If you need reminders like this, real reminders, not cheap comfort, subscribe now because you do not need more dating noise. You need truth when your ego gets loud, when your loneliness gets impatient, and when your standards start collapsing just because someone gave you attention. Here's what it really means. The psychological secrets most men miss about women are not tricks to control them. They are patterns that reveal how attraction, trust, emotion, and respect actually work. And if you understand those patterns, you stop chasing shadows. You stop performing for approval. You stop begging for clarity from people you should have been reading clearly from the beginning. First secret: women do not just respond to words, they respond to emotional congruence. You say you're confident, but your energy asks for validation. You say you're calm, but your behavior is rushing, checking, proving, leaning. You say you're strong, but one delayed reply changes your whole mood. She sees that, she feels that. That's called incongruence. And incongruence kills trust faster than a bad line ever will. Because women listen with more than ears. They read tension, they read hesitation, they read whether your presence matches your mouth. Second secret: attention does not impress her nearly as much as self-possession. Most men think more effort always means more value. Wrong. Neediness dressed up as effort is still neediness. Over texting, over explaining, over pursuing, over giving. That does not communicate strength. It communicates fear of loss before anything real was even built. That's called anxious investment. And anxious investment makes you easy to control without anyone even trying. Because once your emotional state depends on her response, you are no longer relating from strength. You are negotiating from hunger. Third secret: women test for emotional safety and emotional strength at the same time. That is where weak men break. They become either too soft or too hard, too agreeable or too defensive, too available or too cold, but she is watching for something deeper. Can you stay grounded when emotion enters the room? Can you hear discomfort without collapsing? Can you face tension without becoming reactive? Can you hold your frame without trying to dominate hers? That balance matters. Presence versus performance, calm versus control, stability versus suppression. Most men miss it because they think masculinity means force. No, real masculinity means containment. It means power under direction. Fourth secret: women are deeply affected by how a man makes them feel about themselves around him. Not what he claims, not what he flashes, not what he promises, what they feel in his presence. Do they feel rushed or received? Do they feel manipulated or understood? Do they feel like a trophy or a person? And here is the hard truth: if your attention is loaded with need, pressure, fantasy, and hidden agenda, she will feel the weight of that before you ever say a word. That's called energetic pressure. You think you're showing interest, but what she feels is demand, and demand repels. Fifth secret: respect matters longer than excitement. Men chase chemistry and ignore character. Men chase sparks and ignore patterns. Men chase the high and ignore the cost. Then they wonder why everything starts hot and ends in confusion. Because excitement without respect is emotional junk food. It feels good for a moment, then leaves you weaker than before. A woman may be drawn to intensity, yes, but if there is no respect underneath, respect for your standards, your boundaries, your purpose, your pace, it will rot every time. So why does this happen? Because most men are trained to seek approval, not build substance. You were taught to impress, to win, to get chosen, to secure attention, to avoid rejection at all costs. So you enter the dynamic already tilted, already trying, already bargaining with your dignity. You stop observing. You stop listening. You stop asking what this interaction is revealing. You stop. You stop. You stop. You stop holding your center. And the second you do that, attraction becomes confusion. And what does it cost you? Everything that matters. It costs you peace. It costs you time. It costs you discipline. It costs you self respect because once you start performing for somebody's approval, you train yourself to abandon your own standards. You start rationalizing inconsistency. You start rewarding mixed signals. You start calling anxiety chemistry. That's called self betrayal. And no relationship built on self betrayal will ever make you feel powerful. Now reframe it. These so called secrets are not meant to make you manipulative, they are meant to make you awake. Awake to the fact that women are not only responding to what you do, they are responding to who you are when you do it. Your steadiness, your clarity, your restraint, your purpose, your ability to desire without losing discipline. That is what changes the game. Picture the man who understands this. He is not loud, he is not thirsty, he is not trying to dominate every room or seduce every woman with rehearsed charisma. He is grounded. He has a direction. He has a life that does not pause because somebody attractive smiled at him. He can enjoy beauty without worshiping it. He can pursue without overreaching. He can listen without shrinking. He can walk away without needing the last word. He does not fear losing attention because he never built his identity on getting it. His self respect is older than the interaction. His boundaries are stronger than his impulses. His peace is worth more to him than a temporary high. That is the man, and that is the standard. So do this. Stop trying to be impressive and become congruent. Stop over talking and slow down your energy. Stop chasing responses and start reading patterns. Stop treating every attractive woman like a final exam on your worth. Redirect your attention back to your body, your mission, your schedule, your standards. Speak clearly, move calmly, let interest breathe. Let silence do some work. Let time reveal what excitement tries to hide. Do this. Hold eye contact without forcing it. Ask fewer needy questions. Share less to gain approval. Watch how she responds to boundaries. Watch how she handles space. Watch whether her words and behavior align. If they do, proceed with calm. If they don't, do not argue with the evidence. Do this. Build a life that makes you less desperate for romantic validation. Train your body, clean your habits, protect your sleep. Make money with discipline. Keep your word to yourself, because the man who is starving for meaning will always overvalue attention. But the man who already has meaning, he chooses. He does not beg. That is the shift. You stop asking, how do I get her to like me? And start asking, who am I becoming in this dynamic? You stop measuring success by access and start measuring it by alignment. You stop chasing intensity and start honoring peace. You stop treating women like a mystery to solve and start treating yourself like a standard to uphold. And when that happens, everything changes. Because now you are not entering interactions to be saved from loneliness. You are entering them from wholeness. You are not performing masculinity, you are practicing it. You are not trying to win attention. You are deciding what deserves yours. That is power, that is clarity, that is freedom. So hear this and hear it clean. You do not need more tricks. You do not need more lines. You do not need more fake alpha theater. You need discipline. You need self-knowledge. You need emotional control. You need the courage to stop betraying yourself for moments that were never going to build a life anyway. You are the answer, not her validation, not her approval, not her reply speed, not her attention. You, your standards, your presence, your groundedness, your ability to stay yourself in a world constantly tempting you to perform. If you want more truth like this, subscribe, because this is where you come when you're done lying to yourself. And if you're building that kind of self-respect, that kind of clarity, that kind of masculine discipline, then you belong here. Stay close to people who choose truth over fantasy and strength over need. That is how you stop chasing and start becoming.